तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Manash Mishra.
सत्गमया तमसुमा ज्योतिर्गमया विद्युन्मामृतं गमया सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन, स्वागत है आप सभी का टू अनदर संडे सत्संग। So anyway, I'm facing a little bit of technical issue with the system, so just give me a moment. So in the meantime, let us begin with a small meditative process of Sukha Kriya. Just for 2-3 minutes, you can start doing that. In the meantime, the system will be back. So anyway, if you have a music, if you can put that on, or else you can just, everyone can practice the Sukha Kriya. So just focus on your breath and take easy and simple breath. बिल्कुल सरल और गहरी सांसें और पूरा ध्यान आपके सांसों के ऊपर। Okay. So anyway, please give access to this system as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I believe like yesterday you might have celebrated the Narsimha Jayanti and the Narsimha Chaturthi, that whatever you call it. And at the same time, it was being also a day of Ma Chinnamasta. So on all of your behalf, I have done a process in the night. So may all that what has been done reach you all and your family. So today again, we are going to dive into a few more learnings of living life, and the learnings from none other than our favorite character that we did just a week ago or so, of Hanuman. So because the day we did that topic on Hanuman, like people have been asking me again and again, like anything more on that. I said, okay, so let us go ahead with a little bit more on that. So today also, so we will take a few incidents from the setup of Ramayana, of Ram, Hanuman and Ravan and all other characters out there. So are we ready? Good. So if you see the characters of Hanuman and Ravan, both are powerful, both have intense knowledge as well. But at the same time, Ravan has ego, whereas Hanuman doesn't. And that's where we can see like a monkey became God, and such a intelligent person like Ravan became a demon. So we will start from here, a small little things. If you go by the Hanuman Chalisa that you people read, how many of you read Hanuman Chalisa? Almost. Yeah, good. Rarely there is someone who doesn't, especially in our culture, like very, very rare who might not be. And especially if they don't chant the entire thing, at least one sentence they know, Bhoot Pisacha Nikat nahi aave. Because every time you get fearful, what do? Oh my God, like Bhoot Pisach Nikat nahi aave, Mahavir jab naam suna hai, Bhoot Pisach Nikat nahi aave, Mahavir jab naam suna. And that's how you go on and on and on. So I'll start with a very typical prasang from not Ramayana, but from Mahabharata of Hanuman. How many of you know about Kachhap avatar, the tortoise avatar, right? जब विष्णु ने कच्छप अवतार धारण किया था. अच्छा, कोई बता सकता है कि विष्णु ने कितने बार कच्छप अवतार धारण किया? How many times he has taken the avatar of the tortoise? Once. Okay, Kamlender ji says once. Uma ji says two. Jhansi ji said, I was not there, so I don't know. It's okay. Fine. So specifically, there are two places where this has been stated, that jo Kachhav avatar or the Kurma avatar, it has happened twice. So especially the first one we all know, during the manthan of, for to bring out the elixir of life, जब समुद्र मंथन हुआ था तब एक कूर्म अवतार हुआ था. दूसरी बार जो कूर्म अवतार हुआ था, the second one, a very rare discussion has happened on that part, but long time ago I discussed on this as well. So let us start from there. One fine day, before the Kurukshetra or the Mahabharata Yudh started, Arjun was sitting near Krishna, and Krishna said to Arjun, go and pluck some flowers for a puja. जाके कुछ फूल लेके आओ पूजा करने के लिए. और कृष्ण ने एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ फूल के बारे में बताया कि you will have to bring this flower only. Then what happened? Then Arjun says, where shall I find it? And then Krishna says, you have to go to Kadliban. Kadliban means the forest of banana trees. So Kadliban जाओ और वहां पे आपको ये पुष्प मिल जाएगा. You will find this flower there. So on the order of Krishna, Arjun went. And when he went there, Hanuman was already there in that forest. He was sitting and doing his job anyways. And at that time, Arjun enters and finds the flower and starts plucking it. फूल तोड़ना शुरू करता है Arjun. And when this sound of plucking of flowers resounds in the forest, Hanuman hears that and comes running towards it. हनुमान भाग के आते हैं वो कि कौन पुष्प तोड़ रहा है ये वन के अंदर. So when Hanuman appeared there, what he sees is Arjun is plucking the flowers. वो एक फूल तोड़ते जा रहा है. Then Hanuman says, what are you doing? Why are you plucking the flowers? Then Arjun says, I'm just plucking the flowers because I want that. But why do you want it? Arjun says, because I have to do a puja. Now it is okay, you want to do a puja, but why are you stealing the flowers? चोरी क्यों कर रहे हो? Arjun ka, the flowers are there on the plant. Why do you say that I'm stealing it? Now I am the safeguard person of this place. मैं इस जगह का रखवाला हूं और मेरी बिना अनुमति, without asking me, how can you pluck the flowers here? But Arjun says, but I want it for worship. And then Hanuman says, तो क्या चोरी करोगे? So that we will steal or what? If you want to do a puja also, it won't fructify. But Arjun was very adamant. And then anyways, Hanuman says, okay, anyways, tell me, for which God are you going to take this flower? किस भगवान की पूजा के लिए पुष्प लेके जा रहे हो? Then Arjun says, for the puja of Lord Krishna. कृष्ण की पूजा के लिए पुष्प लेके जा रहा हूं. And then Hanuman laughs. Was okay, you can go, take it away. Then Arjun thought like, okay, so now he knows who Krishna is. But Hanuman says, जब तुम्हारा भगवान ही चोर है तो तुम तो भी चोरी करोगे. When your God itself is a thief, तुम कैसे होगे? You will also be just like that. No problem, you take away. But Arjun got irritated by listening when he said that Krishna is a thief. अब अर्जुन अपने जिद पे आ गया. बोले तुम्हारे राम कौन से बड़े थे? हमारे कृष्ण चोरी करे ठीक है, लेकिन तुम्हारे राम कौन से बड़े थे? Then Hanuman says, why? What happened? Now your Ram, he took help of monkeys and bears to build a bridge. खुद नहीं बना पाए. He was not able to build a bridge. उन्होंने बंदरों की और भालुओं की सेवा ली ब्रिज बनाने के लिए. क्या राम राम बोलते रहते हो? Then Hanuman says, then, can you build a bridge? He said, yes, I can build a bridge. I can build a better bridge than him. I just need one bow and arrow and I will create a bridge on that. Then Hanuman says, okay, but the bridge that was built on the name of Ram, on that millions of monkeys walked on. उसके ऊपर चढ़ के चले गए, कुछ नहीं हुआ. आप ब्रिज बनाओ. अगर राम का एक बंदर उसके ऊपर चढ़ गया और वो बच गया तो मान लेंगे. You build just one bridge, and if one monkey of Ram is able to, you are able to sustain the power, weight of that, then it's fine. Then Arjun says, no, if I build a bridge and it doesn't break, then what? So kya? Hanuman says, whatever you say, I will do. I'll not call your God as a thief. Arjun कहता, then fine, let's do it. But Hanuman says, but what about if it breaks? अगर टूट गया तो अर्जुन कहता है, अगर पुल टूट गया, if the bridge breaks, I will set myself on fire. मैं अपनी अग्नि आहुति देके जल के मर जाऊंगा. Hanuman says, fine, let's go. So they go near a water body, and then Arjun pulls a bow and arrow and creates a bridge. The bridge looks very strong compared to the size of Hanuman, because Hanuman is in his normal size right now. Then Arjun says, now it is ready, go, walk on that. Then Hanuman moves a little bit towards the north. उत्तर दिशा की तरफ, उत्तर की दिशा की तरफ थोड़ा हट जाते हैं, and then he starts expanding himself. Starts expanding himself in such a huge way, इतना विशाल बन जाते हैं that even the sun is covered up. सूरज ढक जाता है. And not only that, what he does is एक एक गिरी लोम लपेटा, means in each and every strand of his hair he tied a big mountain in that. Every strand of hair has a big mountain tied to it. Now Hanuman is so huge now, Arjun just looks at it and says, my God, what is happening now? And then what he does? Hanuman comes and puts one leg on the bridge. So what will happen? It broke into pieces and went into the Patal Lok. By looking at this, Arjun was devastated. And he said, now I have faltered, I have lost this. And he started bringing the woods. लकड़ियां इकट्ठा करना शुरू कर देता है. Why? Because he has to create a pyre and he has to burn on that, right? So started doing all the arrangements. Then Hanuman says, what are you doing? Arjun said, I lost, so I'm going to keep my word, I'm going to burn down. Hanuman says, there is no need to do all these things. Life is very precious. Why you want to just burn it down? जीवन बहुत अमूल्य है, इसे जला देना क्यों चाहते हो? तो अर्जुन कहता नहीं, मैं क्षत्रिय हूं, मैं अपनी बात रखूंगा. हनुमान कहते हैं, बट नो वन इज हियर टू सी दैट यू हैव गिवन मी अ वर्ड. जब कोई है ही नहीं, और वैसे भी मैं किसी को बोलूंगा नहीं. I will never tell anyone that that this thing happened, and so nobody will know, so you don't have to give your life. But Arjun says, I am a Kshatriya, I have given you word, means I have to keep it. Or it starts creating all the things, and at that time, Hanuman folds his hand and remembers Krishna. He says, ओ लॉर्ड मैं तो बस ऐसे ही प्रसंग में बोल दिया था. I just told it like that way, but he has taken it too seriously and he won't listen to me. So now you please come and save him. अब आप ही को आना पड़ेगा और उसे बचाना पड़ेगा. And by listening to this call, Krishna appears as a Brahman. ब्राह्मण के रूप में वहां आते हैं and Arjun is putting the fire. Then he says, oh, you are cooking a meal or what for me? So Bhandara laga hai aaj. So you are good amidst of the jungle. If you are giving food, it is really good. Then Arjun kehta hai, this is not to cook the food, this is to cook myself up. Then Krishna asks, but why are you giving your life? Hanuman says, yes, tell him. उसे बोलो रोकने के लिए कि क्या कर रहा है ये. And then the Brahman asks, like, why are you doing all these things? Then Arjun narrates the entire story. And he says that I am a Kshatriya, so I have to keep my word. Brahman कहता है, बिल्कुल सही बात, जल जा. Go and put yourself on fire because you have given a word. Now Hanuman is thinking, oh my God, I could have convinced him better than you. You came and you are also motivating him to go get into the fire now. Then Krishna says, okay, but who has seen it that you both had a fight or a competition? कौन था जिसने देखा था? So Arjun says, no one was there. And then the Brahman says, then how can you go ahead with the results? So this time, let us do one more thing. Let us build the bridge again. हम और एक बार वो पुल बनाते हैं. You build the bridge again. This time I will be the judge. And Hanuman, you do your part. So Arjun says, okay, fine. Let me give it a try again. And this time again, Arjun builds a bridge with a arrow. And again, Hanuman goes towards the उत्तर की दिशा की तरफ चल जाते हैं, towards the northern side, and grows himself into huge form again. Again, by seeing that, Arjun is already giving up. He is gone. Again, this Brahman didn't knew. Now at least nobody knew and I would have died. Now this person also knows and he will go and tell everyone. But in the meantime, when this time the bridge was ready and Hanuman just came and put his leg on that. Ab ki baar, in this time, Krishna again took the Kachchap avatar and sat under that bridge. कृष्ण ने फिर से अवतार लिया और कच्छप रूप बनके वो ब्रिज के नीचे बैठ गए. And when Krishna was sitting there in the Kachchap avatar, Hanuman could not break that bridge. And Hanuman understood what is going on. So as he went and see why the bridge has not broken, he saw this avatar because only Hanuman was the person who saw the second avatar of Kachchap. And he folded his hand and says, Prabhu, all your Leela, okay, no problem. Let's come out and help that fellow now. Now Arjun is jumping around with happiness that the bridge didn't break. We also jump around with happiness at times, right? The first time the bridge broke, the second time the bridge didn't. When the first time the bridge broke, did you realize that Arjun built it with ego? And when you build something out of ego, even a monkey can destroy that. Any monkey destroys it. But this time, when the God was for his help, who can break it? And then Hanuman comes out and then Krishna also appears from nowhere and now Arjun says, from where have you come? Brahman Devta is no more there. Only Krishna is there, Hanuman is there and Arjun is there. Then Arjun says, oh, this time I won, and this time Brahman Devta was the judge and he saw that I have won it. Krishna says, yes, we all know you won this time. So let's go now. Then Arjun says, no, 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 I cannot go. Hanuman has given me a word that if I win, he will do anything I say. Hanuman says, well and fine, tell. Jo bolo. And at that time, Arjun was about to ask something. Krishna says, stop. Don't ask anything to him. Samay aane pe puchenge. When the time arrives, we will take his help. And with this condition, Krishna and Arjun moves out. And then we all know, just before the fight of Kurukshetra, Krishna calls Arjun one day, because Krishna knows now it is inevitable to stop the war. Krishna calls Arjun and says, now it is the time. Arjun says, for what? And now is the time to call Hanuman. Can you see, in order to get his help, what all drama he can do? Just to get his help to bring him, he created all that story. Then when Arjun goes to Hanuman, then Krishna also follows him and he says, now we need your help and you have to come along with us. And Hanuman says, what to do? No, we are going for the fight now and you have to sit with us. Hanuman says, हम तो राम के दास हैं और हम राम के चरणों में बैठा रहते हैं. We just sit at the feet of Ram. आपके कहाँ बैठेंगे? Where shall I sit with you? कृष्ण कहते हैं हमारे सर पे बैठो. Sit on our head. Go on the top of the chariot and you sit there. And we all know, because of that flag of Hanuman on the chariot of Arjuna, that chariot is called as Kapidhwaj. The chariot that is on which Arjuna and Krishna went to fight was known as Kapidhwaj. So Hanuman, before going that, he says, I always like to listen to the katha of, good katha of Ram and all those things. ऐसी कोई कथा होगी वहां पे? Will there be any such talks when we go into the war? Krishna says, we are going into a war, you want to listen to a katha? Then Hanuman says, no, no, हमारे राम तो वहां पे भी कथा करते थे. Among the fight also, he used to give some good advices. Is there any such facilities available? And Krishna says, okay, for you, the facility will be arranged. And that's why it is said, अर्जुन का विषाद तो बहाना था, कृष्ण को हनुमान को कथा जो सुनाना था. अर्जुन का विषाद बहाना था, कृष्ण को हनुमान को कथा सुनाना था. And that's how Hanuman was there on the flag. And then when it was fight going on, when the war started, when Bhishma and Dronacharya and all those people were shooting arrows, Arjun's rath was not moving an inch. But when Arjun was shooting arrows, their chariots used to move back. पीछे हट जाता था उनके रथ. और अर्जुन फिर कहता है, देखो, look at my chariot. It is not even moving. Arjun says to Krishna, look down, look down. It is not even moving an inch. Then Krishna laughs and says, नीचे नहीं ऊपर देख. Don't look down, look up. And Krishna says, वो ऊपर है इसीलिए तू भूपर है. He is there, that's why you are here. वो ऊपर है इसीलिए तू भूपर है. Means he is there, that's why you are on the ground. And we all know the fight went on, and at the end of the Mahabharata, Krishna says to Arjuna that you get off the chariot first. आपको पहले उतरना है. Then Arjun says, no, you first get down. Krishna says, what I say, do. And then Arjun gets off the chariot, and then Krishna gets off the chariot. And the moment Krishna gets down of the chariot burns down. ये सबको पता है कि वो रथ जल जाता है. And now Arjun is saying, there is no one fighting, no one is shooting arrows, then how did it burn? ये अभी जल कैसे गया? And then Krishna says, रथ में आग तो कब की लगी थी, ये तो वो था जिसने उसे जलाने से बचाए रखा था. The fire was already there on the chariot, but it was he who has saved you from that. So can you see all that drama that is done in your lives also? At times we don't understand that part. But how is the divine play happening? He plans so many things for you. Might be in the initial phase, it looks like you failed. You feel like, okay, let me give it off. जीवन जीने का कोई मूल्य नहीं है. But then you don't realize that what kind of game he might be playing, and he might be bringing up something so amazing into your life, which we will never realize. और हमेशा याद रखना, वो ऊपर है इसलिए आप भूपर हो. And that's how. Keep your eyes always towards the up, not onto the ground just. So if you liked this one, you are going to fall in love with the other ones. Because this one was a repeated one, but what I'm going to speak now, I have not spoken yet. Ready? Everyone? Now, let's take the character Ravan. We will build the character, and after that we will start the story. Ravan had how many heads? कितने थे? Okay. 10? Okay. A few days ago, I was in a school, Harivai. The children were saying, some was saying 12, some was saying 8, someone was saying 9. I said, you have different Ravans at your home, I believe. Acha. Why do Ravan has 10 heads? Ravan के 10 सिर क्यों हैं? Suma ji, any specific thing that you want to tell? 10 heads. Anybody wants to have like that? 10 heads? बोले एक ही सर की दर्द संभाले नहीं जाता. One head headache is not tolerated. 10 heads, 10 headaches. It is, in one way, if you look at it, the 10 heads represents the kind of ego he must be having. Rajanji, yes, he was very, very, we all know what kind of Jnani Ravan was. But at the same time, he was filled with so much of ego that one head could not suffice. ज्ञान तो फिर भी एक सर के अंदर रह सकता है. ईगो इतना बड़ा था कि एक के अंदर जगह नहीं हुआ. 10 सर लगाने पड़े उसे. And one fine day, Ravan went to have a fight with the Devatas. Okay, देवताओं के साथ युद्ध करने निकलता है. And we all know, Devata started running, seeing that Ravan is coming along with a gada in his hand. If it was a sword, we could understand, but this time gada means खूब पड़ेगी. And Devata started running. Then somehow Narad Muni appears. He said, why are you running? Na dekhta nahi, Ravan aa raha hai. Then Narad says, but now you are all immortals. Why are you running? अभी तो आप अमर हो चुके हो, फिर अभी क्यों भाग रहे हो? देवता बोले इसीलिए तो भाग रहे, अमर है इसीलिए भाग रहे हैं. We are immortals, that's why we are running. Because if we are mortals, he would have beaten us 2-3 times, we would have dead and everything is gone. मर गए होते, बच गए होते. But now we are immortals, पता नहीं कब तक पीटेगा. Till how long he's going to beat us, we don't know. And then Narad says, do one thing. Run into a mountain with a small entrance. एक ऐसे पहाड़ के अंदर चले जाओ जहां पे एंट्रेंस बहुत छोटा हो और जहां झुक के उसके अंदर जाना पड़े. You have to bow your head and go inside that. Then Devta says, what will happen with that? He says, you just do that and you see. Somehow they found a place and they just entered into by bowing down. वो गुफा के अंदर सर झुका के अंदर चले जाते. And Ravan comes there and stands in front of the mountain. But we all know he will never bow his head. वो अपना सर कभी नहीं झुकाएगा. Why? It is filled with so much of ego, he will never bow down. He waited there, waited there, waited there. No one came out. Now the Devatas are also thinking, what is happening? Why is not coming in? Then Narad says, he cannot enter into this. Devata says, why? No, because he will not bow his head. And here also you remember, like one fine day, Ravan went to meet Lord Shiva. And when we went there to Kailash, Shiva was in meditation and Parvati was there sitting by her side doing her seva. Suddenly Mount Kailash started shaking. And when Mount Kailash started shaking, Parvati asked Shiva, why is the mountain shaking? Then Shiva says, Mera bhakt aaya hai. My student has come, that's why it is shaking. Then Parvati says, but if the student goes, why the mountain is shaking? Then Shiva says, it is no ordinary student, it is Ravan. Then Parvati said, then what? If Ravan has come, then also what? Now go and check. He will not bow down. He will lift the mountain and put it on his head. वो अपना सर नहीं झुकाएगा, वो पहाड़ को अपने सर पे रख लेगा. Even he doesn't bow down there. क्यों? क्योंकि रावण को ये लगता है कि सारे जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, जो फॉलोअर्स होते हैं, जो भी होता है, उनको गुरु ऊपर उठाता है. He says, like everybody believes that the guru enriches the student, but Ravan is one student who thinks like he can take his guru up. वो गुरु को ऊपर उठा सकता है, वो रावण है. और जिसे लगता है कि वो गुरु को उठा देगा, वो रावण हो जाएगा. So that's even in front of Shiva, he was not bowing down. So how will he bow down here? But what happens? The Devatas stay inside the cave and Ravan waits there. Nobody comes out. Finally, Ravan gave up and goes off. At times, you are not defeated by others, you are defeated by your own self. Because you don't know how to bow down. आपको कोई हराता नहीं है, आप स्वयं हार जाते हो क्योंकि आपको सर झुकाना नहीं आता. So remember this part, that at times when it is required to bow down, you should bow down. So now coming to another prasang where Hanuman and Ravan meet in the war. जब हनुमान और रावण युद्ध में आमने सामने आ जाते हैं. So both are there. So Ravan says, finally, you came in front of me. Hanuman says, yeah, I came in front of you, but will you go back or not? That's the different story. सामने तो आ गए, अब जाओगे बच के कि नहीं, वो अलग बात है. But Ravan knows like Hanuman very well by now because he has put his Lanka on fire already. So Ravan says, I know you are also a warrior and you also know how great a warrior I am. And if we fight, it will take, I don't know how much time. Let us decide with a small fight. Hanuman says, as you say, what's the fight? Then they say that let us punch each other once and whoever wins. Only one punch. And we will decide who won. Both agree that okay, one punch each. And whoever survives. Then Ravan says, come on, hit me. Hanuman says, you hit first, because if I hit you, you will come back or not. अगर मैंने मारा तो उठा नहीं उठा, इसलिए तू ही पहले मार. So both agreed, and then Ravan comes and with all his power of all the 20 hands. ना अगर 10 सर है तो 20 हाथ होंगे ना. हाँ, so all the power of 20 hands and punches. And Hanuman is sitting in his Vajra pose. तो घुटना एक नीचे करके बैठते हैं ना जैसे, वैसे बैठा रहता है. And he just sits and not moving. Ravan thought he is gone. He has left his body because he is not moving. And when Ravan started laughing, Hanuman laughed louder than him. He says, I am not gone. You were not able to move me an inch. Then Ravan was thinking like, what happened? Like, I have won over so many things. I have so much of power. I was not able to move him by bit. उसको एक इंच भी हिला नहीं पाया. अब हनुमान कहता है मेरी बारी. Now my turn. Now Ravan is thinking whom I was not able to move an inch, what he is going to do now. And now Hanuman does his fist. जैसे ही हनुमान अपनी मुष्टिका बनाते हैं, तब वहां पे ऊपर everybody is now shaking. Vishnu, Brahma and Shiv all are saying to Hanuman, don't hit him hard, or else Ram का काम आधा रह जाएगा. उसकी लीला कंप्लीट नहीं हो पाएगी, मत मार उसे. Don't kill him. Hanuman says, what are you doing? I cannot hit him also. Then all the three devs says, no, hit him, but not to the extent that Ram's Leela has to be finished here today. And they all agreed to that. And then Hanuman with a lesser force hit Ravan. And when he hit Ravan, Ravan fell down and was unconscious for so long. And after some time, Ravan woke up. And now when he wakes up, he started doing the stuti of Hanuman. रावण ने खाली शिव का स्तुति नहीं किया, रावण ने हनुमान की भी स्तुति की है. He started praising Hanuman. Oh, what a great warrior you are and all those stuff. But Hanuman is looking down and said, what warrior? No, आप महाबली हो, पराक्रमी हो. बोलता महाबली तो तब होता जब तू उठता नहीं. If you would not have gotten up, I would have been Mahabali. But you have gotten up. But can you see, despite having all the powers, he never showcased it. Never went beyond a certain level. And when everyone, after the war was over, Ram returned back to Ayodhya. राम सबको कुछ ना कुछ दे रहे थे, right? He gave everyone everything. So then at that time, Ram was asking Hanuman that देख, मैंने सबको एक एक पद दिया. You know, pad means a designation or a. I made Sugriv, the king of Kiskinda. I made Vibhishan the king of Lanka. And it all happened because of you. And even I became the king of Ayodhya because of you. मैंने सबको एक एक पद दिया, लेकिन मैंने तुम्हें कोई पद नहीं दिया. I have not given you any designations. But if you listen to this in the Hindi version, it will make you the best sense. तो मैंने तुम्हें कोई पद नहीं दिया. I was not able to give you anything. Hanuman says, why do you say that, Prabhu? Ram says, but I have not given you any kingdom. Then Hanuman says, देखो, विभीषण को एक पद मिला. He became the king of Lanka. सुग्रीव को भी एक पद मिला और आपको भी एक पद मिला. लेकिन look at me how lucky I am. मुझे आपके 2 पद मिले. Are you understanding that? उन सबको तो एक एक पद मिला, लेकिन मुझे तो आपके दोनों पद मिल गए. मैं उनसे भी बड़ा. और क्या चाहिए मुझे? Then Ram says, but I want to give you something. What can I give you? Hanuman says, I don't need anything, so you cannot give me anything. मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, आप कुछ दे नहीं सकते. And in that moment, something amazing happened. Then Ram folds his hand in front of Hanuman. राम ने हनुमान के सामने हाथ जोड़ा और राम ने कहा कि मैं तुझे कुछ दे नहीं सकता, इसीलिए मैं तेरा हमेशा ऋणी रहूंगा. I cannot give you anything, that's why I will always be indebted to you. Can you see the power of a bhakti where the Lord himself folds his hand and says, I am always indebted to you. अगर भक्ति करनी है ना, तो हनुमान जैसी करनी चाहिए. If you really want to get into that, it should be like him. There is a particular sentence na Kamlender ji, kanan kundala kunchita kesa. I don't know, I am just going randomly, but I think like I should start the entire Hanuman Chalisa from starting till end, and I will tell you in such a way that you have never understood that. But today I will just give you in bits and bits and here and there, but one fine day I will do the entire Hanuman Chalisa. And from the kada of Hanuman which is wearing on his leg to his hair, I can define everything. And everything has such a depth meaning in that we never understood it all. So let's take one thing here. Kanan kundal kunchit kesa. What do you mean by kanan kundal kunchit kesa? The description of Hanuman begins like this. Yes or no? Kanan kundal means who is wearing a earring in his ears and whose hair is spiraled. Hariva used to have that way. अब प्रीति जी क्यों हंस रहे पता नहीं, पुराने फोटो देखे होंगे. Okay, so Kanan Kundal Kunchit Kesa. Why did Tulsidas ji started his description by the word Kanan Kundal? What does the earring do to the ear? It decorates it, right? It looks good. That's why you people go for a long shopping for earrings, right? The ladies, yes. Kanan Kundal, because that looks good. वो आभूषण बन जाता है. But the meaning here is not the jewelry that Hanuman wears. Kanan Kundal means the one who gives priority to his ears and decorates it with the name of the Lord. जो अपने श्रवण को, सुनने की क्षमता को प्राथमिकता देता है और जो हमेशा उसको भगवान के नाम से सजा के रखता है, ये हनुमान है. Kanan Kundal. द कुंडल क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? द कुंडल इज नथिंग बट द डेकोरेशन ऑफ द ईयर विद द नेम ऑफ द लॉर्ड. कानन कुंडल कुंचित कैसा. अब ये कुंचित कैसा समझने के लिए आपको और एक चीज समझनी पड़ेगी. कुंचित कैसा मीन्स द हेयर इज नॉट स्ट्रेट, इट्स स्पाइरल्ड, राइट. देखो बुद्धि भी यहीं से उपजती है और बाल भी. So why this spiral? I'll tell you why. In order to understand that, shall I tell you another thing, add to that so that it is clear? Okay. When Ram was closing down his Leela on this planet, and then Ram says, Hanuman, let's go. We are done. Hanuman says, Kaha? Chalo mere dham. You come along with me. Hanuman said, it's all good, but आपकी कथा होती है क्या वहां पे? Do they talk about you there? Then Ram says, नहीं, मेरे धाम में मैं ही हूं, मेरी कथा नहीं होती. Then Hanuman says, आपकी कथा नहीं होती तो मेरा क्या काम वहां पे? जहां आपकी कथा नहीं वहां मेरा क्या काम? लेकिन क्या ये धरती पे कथा होगी? राम कहते हैं हाँ, युगो युगो तक कथा होगी. तो हनुमान कहते तो मैं युगो युगो तक यही रहूंगा. Can you see what kind of devotion it is? राम कहते तू मेरे धाम चले चल, मेरे साथ रहे, like you come along with me and you stay there. But you want to stay back, why? And he says, जहां आपकी कथा वहां ना रहेगी कोई व्यथा. And I will be there to ensure that even if nobody is listening, I am there to listen to your talks. And I will help those people, those who are in the path, to reach you. That means, what is that spiraling of hair means? कि जो व्यक्ति संसार में आवा जावा करते रहता है, is coming and going in the circle of Maya. Hanuman indicates that I will stand by your side until you find your way. I am going to stay back on this planet, और जब भी राम की कथा होगी मैं वो कथा सुनने आऊंगा. And that's how it is indicated as the spiral of hair. But there is one thing that you should be aware of. हनुमान मोक्षदायक देवता नहीं है. हनुमान मोक्षदायक देवता नहीं है. He will not give you moksha, but he will show you the path of moksha. तो मोक्ष का रास्ता दिखा सकता है, लेकिन मोक्ष देता नहीं है, क्योंकि he is always lost in the thoughts of Ram. And that's how Hanuman is. Just close your eyes. Just sit silently. And you might have noticed, like by just listening to these talks, already a beautiful place has been created within you. A space which has been filled with beautiful flowers around. एक अद्भुत शांति है मन के अंदर. And along that with an assurance that somebody is there to take care. And let us bring that element into our life right now by a meditation. अभी हम एक ऐसा मेडिटेशन करेंगे जहां पे हम अपने अंदर वो दृढ़ता स्थापित कर दे. We create that faith and belief within ourselves that there is someone who is going to take care of everything. I don't know what Leela he will be doing. At times it might feel like I'm losing out. But I can never lose and I will never be lost while standing by his side and sitting on his shoulders. Choice is yours. आप उसका हाथ पकड़ के चल सकते हो, आप उसके पैरों में बैठ सकते हो, आप उसके कंधों पे भी बैठ सकते हो. All that is how you want to reach out to them. So now, while we are all here, and as the land has been made fertile with the talks, let us sow some new seeds of faith and belief. And I could see some people have started watering the fields also with their tears. आंसू आंखों के दिखाई दे या मन के अंदर की, सींचना जरूर है. You have to put that water there. And let this be a space where you soak yourself and you become a Hanuman. A devotee, unwavered. Despite having all the powers, always surrendered. We all know, like when in Ayodhya one day Sita gave a mala of pearl to Hanuman, and then we all know Hanuman took the mala, looked at it and says, what I have to do with it? And Sita says, keep it. And in that moment, Hanuman starts breaking all those into pieces. All the pearls into pieces. Sita asks, what are you doing? And Hanuman says, I am just checking whether Ram is in it or not. क्या ये मोती है, मोतियों के अंदर मेरे राम हैं? और तभी, and in that moment somebody says, then if you are searching Ram, inside that is Ram also inside you. And we all know what he did. He tore apart his chest and everybody could see Sita and Ram there. Let us do something like that today. Let us tear apart and let's see if we can find it within ourselves. Have we created that kind of space within ourselves where the divinity resides? चलो देखते हैं कि क्या राम है. नाम कोई भी दे दो, देखना तो यह है कि दिव्यता है क्या अपने अंदर. Do I have that divinity within me? So in a state of mind that you are in right now, अभी जिस स्थिति में आप हो, I don't think you need to meditate. Just I'm going to guide you in a certain specific way. You just follow that. And your meditation will happen in such a beautiful way that you are just going to love it. So while you are sitting, make yourself absolutely comfortable and stable in that place, wherever you are sitting. If you want to change your body posture, do it right now. And keep your eyes slightly closed. धीरे से अपने आंखें बंद रखें. And you will hear a very typical thing right now. If you can create that space within you, you are going to hear something. Initially, I will make the sound. Later on, the sound will resound within you. थोड़े समय के लिए मैं वो आवाज करूंगा. उसके बाद आपने अपने आप को अगर उतना शून्य कर दिया, वो आवाज आपके अंदर गूंजने लगेगी. This is going to be a magical moment for you all. No movement of the body, just sit still. The mind should be still, the body should be still. And if you just close your eyes and sit down comfortably, you start listening to my voice, it will help you align both your mind and body. Become completely hollow, completely empty within yourself. Don't ask how. Just let it go and you will be absolutely empty. It might become such hollow and empty that even you might not feel your breath. That's okay. The pattern of your breath has become very, very slow by now. Now just focus on the emptiness within you. It's like a empty jar. And the more and more you focus on the emptiness, the lighter and lighter you become. Kind of dust particles moving away from the body, let it go. You envision yourself as a clear, white, empty vessel. And now, as the vessel is empty, listen very carefully. And you might just hear the words Ram, 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 Ram. For some of you, the sound will be coming from outside, and for some of you, the sound will be coming from within. So listen to that word. Allow it to just flow in your body. Every single part of your body is absolutely relaxed, and all that it is holding is just the divine light and the divine name. The more and more you focus, the deeper you go. Just whatever is happening within you, just let it happen. You just sit as an empty space. हाथ में लड्डू, मुख में पान, 12 बरस के वीर हनुमान. हाथ में लड्डू, मुख में पान, 12 बरस के वीर हनुमान. हाथ में लड्डू, मुख में पान, 12 बरस के वीर हनुमान. Now focus on your heart area. अपने अनहद चक्र के ऊपर ध्यान दे. Which will be well lit, bright. Just focus on that. Need not do anything. Just travel into that light so deep that there is no information about the body that you are in. संपूर्णता से अलग. And the more and more you settle down in that space, no imagination, no creation. The more and more you stay in that space, the deeper you travel. Connect with me. Each and everyone. And in this space of absolute purity, bring down any deity and settle it there. Deep serenity within. Absolute calmness. And as there is stability within yourself, focus on your third eye, Agna Chakra. While focusing on the third eye, envision a light there as well. And this light is dispelling all the things that are not required. Fill your entire body with joy and happiness. Now, as your body is completely at ease, thoughts are very, very few to none, nothing at all. Now take a deep breath. एक गहरी सांस लें. Deep but easy breath. And as you take a deep breath, become aware of your body. अपने शरीर के प्रति पूरा ध्यान. And as you are aware of the surrounding, take both your hands, rub it together, and keep it on your face. Cover your entire face with your hands. And slowly open your eyes when you are ready. with a smile on it. Anyone meditated? Or it happened? And just the silence persists. Cleaned up? Santoshi ji? How do you feel now? Now, Kumkum ji is saying, Kumkum ji is saying, no feeling. जो भी feeling थे सब चले गए. असंग हो गए पूरा. How long can you carry this? As long as you want. So now, if anyone has any questions, I will take up. Yes, Narsingh, space is always effortless. Dhavalji, can you see no guided meditation, nothing. It's just that space. Okay, so Haribhai, please help them unmute.
Dhavalji, please unmute yourself.
Then now we have to unmute you to speak.
So, quick one thing, it was as always amazing experience. So one thing I just wanted to say, as our one of the guideline was, you realize that you are on shoulder of deity. So since couple of months, I always feel, especially after this Patuk Hanuman's mantra we have been doing, I feel like at a one shoulder Patuk Hanuman and another shoulder of mine is having Batuk Bhairav. And even while I am driving car, I feel like they are sitting on both sides of my car. I don't know why, but when I'm at home, I feel like both are sitting on my shoulder. So thank you, Prabhuji.
That is really good, Dhavalji. But some people are saying that they are no more driving their car. It is they are driving it. I said, why only car? Why not your life? Let them drive.
Yes.
So thank you, Dhavalji.
Pranam.
Thank you, Dhavalji. Shri-Guruji, please unmute yourself.
Pranam Gurudev.
Yeah, Shiva Guruji. Both in the same house.
The awesome experience. We felt the serenity and the divine within us
Yeah. And Shiva Guruji,
cannot be explained in words.
I'm going to put a weight after this because I'm going to tell you a story after that. And that story is going to stay with you forever.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Shiva Guruji.
Then one more doubt.
Yes.
Can I? This Buddha Purnima, they say that Buddhas are going to descend Vishak festival. I want you to throw some light on that. You can.
Buddha Purnima?
Buddha Purnima, yeah.
If possible, we will do a session on that day itself.
Yeah, that's what. My request for that.
When is it Buddha Purnima? Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow, na?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
So Monday.
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow we will do a specific meditation in the night Indian time, so that you people will do it. US people will do it in early morning hours, and in India people will be doing it in the evening time.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Guru.
Thank you for bringing that up, and we will do that. Because last time also we did a specific meditation on that day. It's really a very powerful day.
Thank you, Guru.
Okay. Thank you, Shiva Guruji.
Thank you, Shiva Guruji.
Thank you.
Nasirauji, please unmute yourself.
Pranam Guru.
Pranam.
Thank you, Gurudev. Without efforts, आप silence में enter हो गए. हमारा efforts कुछ भी नहीं है उसमें. जो कुछ हो रहा है, आप भी silence space में है. तो आपका दया है, blessings है. कि हमेशा वही stage में आप bless करो रहेंगे. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So Narsingh, what happens is initially we visit a place, then we like that place, then we stay in that place, right? So initially आप उस जगह पे जा रहे हो, then when you continuously visit that, it feels like home, and then you buy a home there and you live there. See, all of us in this room, many of us have moved away from our own hometowns. And we have settled down in a very specific place. How did we do that? Now the place that we are in has become so close to our hearts that even if we go to our hometown, we think of this. We have found our new homes. So that's how this divine path of spirituality is also exactly the same. And more than that, because here we are just having a physical house or a physical presence, but in that space, it's like our reality is there. And Narsingh ji, abhi jo main kahani bolne ja raha hu na, I don't know how people will take it, but understand it from a level of highest understanding. तभी समझ में आएगा. Highest matlab ये नहीं कि you have to climb onto the 4th floor or the 7th floor and listen to it. No. You sit wherever you are sitting. But understand it, because it is such a typical story, people misinterpret. Shall I dare to tell that story? Everyone. And when you ask me like how to be in that space, how to be there, how many of you know the name of Sant Kabir? Okay, I should ask Sumaji who has not known his name. Okay, if you don't know his name, Guru Govind dono khade kake lagu paye. You must have heard this. This was written by Kabir. Chinta aisi dakini kaat kaleja khaye. वैद्य बेचारा क्या करे, कब तक दवा खिलाए. दिस वाज रिटन बाय कबीर. बुरा जो देखण में गया, बुरा ना मिलिया कोई, जो मन देखा आपनो, मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. दिस वाज रिटन बाय कबीर. So at least somehow, somewhere you might have heard of all this. And now today I'm going to tell you a real story from his life. And while listening to this, and by the end of the story, I can say one thing: you will be spellbound. Ready for some magic, Paniji? Very good. So let's begin. And as I said, listen to from your highest understanding level. And you will understand it's not a complicated story, but it is a story that is misinterpreted many times. I was thinking to tell you this story for a long time, but I don't know why I'm telling it now. But I think it is time for it. And don't move away from the mid of the story. If you want to listen to the story, listen to it completely, or else don't listen. You can go now. So the story is in such a way, Kabir ji, like if we all know, he was a weaver. वो कपड़े बुना करते थे. And the day he realized himself that all this world is all Maya and all those stuff, ये सब illusion है. Since that day, he stopped living for the world and started living for himself. But many of us, what we do, we live for the world and never live for ourselves. But here in the space that we are, I say you should be filled with the worldly things outside. You should be filled with the worldly things outside, and you should be empty within with the divine alone. That should be the space of this family that we call as Aham Brahmasmi. So here, when Kabir ji, we all know, like, he never bothered about how much money came, how much money went, not bothered about what food is coming to my plate next time. जो मिल गया उसमें खुश, whatever he got. And unlike us, he used to do satsang every day. So every morning people used to visit him, early morning hours. सुबह पहुंच जाते लोग उनके पास, and he starts doing the satsangs. But Kabir was a very typical guy. He never thought about himself here while eating, but he thought about others while feeding. Can you see how a typical person? He never thought of the world, he was with himself. He never thought about eating, but he was thinking about feeding. Very typical character. And every day people used to come to him, and we all know he didn't have enough money. But suddenly he will feel like feeding people today, and he will say, if you have come today, don't go, have some food at my home and then you can go. Without even knowing if there is something in the house or not. घर में कुछ है नहीं है ये पता भी नहीं है, और मन होता बस कहते नहीं आज भंडारा होगा. Today we will feed everyone, so please stay back. And by doing this, they didn't have enough money, so they started borrowing from the nearby shops. ठीक है, आस पड़ोस के दुकान से उधार लेना शुरू कर देते हैं. And while taking this, slowly the debts also grow. To the extent that the shopkeeper started insulting them. that कब तक फ्री में लेते जाओगे, कब तक खाओगे, खुद के खाने के लिए नहीं है, दूसरों को खिलाते हो. And all those things, people started saying all that. One fine day, there was a big group of people there in the morning. And after finishing it, Kabir, without his realization, he just said that, today Bhandara, let's do it. Even without knowing that there is not a single grain of rice in the house. He just looked inside the house, called his wife and said, सबके लिए खाना बनाओ. मैंने बोल दिया है, सबके लिए खाना बनाओ. I have just told everyone and now you cook the food. Now Kabir's wife knows that there is not even a single grain of rice in the house. From here on, whatever I'm going to say, listen unwaveringly, because your ears will not understand what I'm going to say now. So when she was looking at that, like there is nothing to be eaten, there is nothing to cook, she said, let me go back to the shop, because my husband has given his word. कबीर जी ने अपनी बात दे दी है, तो मुझे उनकी बात रखनी पड़ेगी. Then she goes to the shop. The shopkeeper, by seeing her coming, started shouting. Literally started abusing. That why are you here? You are again here to beg or what, and all those things. He just shouted. And she just stood there, listened to whatever he said. So जो बोलता गया बस सुनती गई. And then, without any change in her, she says, if you have done with whatever you have to say, can you give me some food grains for this day? अगर आपको जो कुछ बोलना था, अगर आपने बोल दिया हो, अब थोड़ा कुछ दे दीजिए आज एक दिन के लिए. My husband has given his word, and I cannot go back empty-handed. Now, this shopkeeper again started abusing, but she again listened to it patiently, and she said, "Agar ab ho gaya ho to, if you are done now, give me some food so that I can take it and go back to my home." He said, "I cannot give you anything." Then she said, please allow me to do any work for you. On behalf of that, you give me some food grains for this day. मैं कोई कार्य करना चाहती हूँ, आप कोई भी कार्य दे दो, मैं कार्य कर लूंगी, और मैं कुछ आज के लिए आप दे दो. Now the twist comes. The shopkeeper for all these days had an eye on her. ये दुकानदार को उसके ऊपर नजर थी. She was beautiful. I don't know by external beauty or not, but if somebody lives with Kabir, she should be beautiful. So the shopkeeper, with a lot of courage, he looks at her, says, and okay, there is one arrangement that I can do. And here you have to listen with a heavy heart. There is one arrangement that I can do if you are agree to that. The lady says, yes, please tell what. Then he says, you have to come to my house in the night today. If you come down to my house and sleep with me tonight, I will not only give you the food now, all the past things that are you have to pay, all is paid. He just said this and stopped himself. Little fearful. Might be a sandal will be flying. कोई चप्पल से मार ना दे. बोल तो दिया, अब सोच रहा है. But it was Kabir's wife, no ordinary one. She says, but this is what you want. Just this much, and for that you have been abusing us. You should have told it earlier. See, here the interpretation goes wrong with people's mind. उसने कहा कि बस इतना ही है, ये तुम पहले बोल दिए होते तो इतनी मेरे पति की इतनी बेइज्जती नहीं हुई होती. Now the shopkeeper is stunned. He was expecting a slap on his face. But she is saying in a very different way. She says, you should have told me earlier. Why so much of abuse to us? Then he says, okay, done. So you take the पूरा सामान देके भेजा देता. He gives all the things that she wanted. She says, okay, please give me now. I'll come in the night. from a normal one person standpoint, what would be a thought process if a lady speaks like that to another person? We don't understand that part, right? But listen to this, what happens next. She goes, she cooks the food, everything is done, everybody is fed. In the evening, she is getting ready. She is getting ready, and at that time, Kabir comes and Kabir asks, you have to go somewhere? कहीं जाना है तुझे? जो इतना तैयार हो रही हो आज? You're getting ready, is there where you want to go? And then she says, आपसे क्या छिपाना? What should I hide from you? Yes, I have to go. So yes, where you have to go? And she narrates the entire story to him. So Kabir says, okay, is that so? Fine. He has kept his word. Now it is your turn to keep your word. He has kept his word and he has given you the food. Now it is your turn to keep your word. Whatever word you have given, you have to keep it. But she just sits down there with a sad face. Kabir asks, why are you sad? And then she says, it is raining heavily outside. How can I go? इतनी बारिश बाहर हो रही है, मैं कैसे जाऊं? And then Kabir says, yes, it is raining, but it is not the fault of the shopkeeper. Then why he should not get what he deserves? Do one thing. I will carry the umbrella for you. Let us go. तुम चलो, मैं छाता पकड़ के चलता हूं. So that you should not. Because if you go wet, you will wet the house of that poor fellow. उसका घर को गंदा कर दोगी तुम. इसीलिए छाता मैं लेके चलता हूं. उसका क्या दोष? उसका घर क्यों गंदा करोगी तुम? That is a thought process of a person. And finally, Kabir was holding the umbrella. He had one umbrella. And he carried his wife in such a way that not a single drop of water fall on him, but he was getting wet. खुद संपूर्णता से भीग चुके थे, लेकिन उनके ऊपर एक बूंद पानी गिरने नहीं दिए. And finally they reached. It is heavily raining. It is a dark night. पूरा अंधकार है हर जगह पे. And when they reached to the steps of the house, Kabir says, you do one thing. It is still raining heavily. I don't see like the rain will go down. You go inside, complete your work, keep your word, and I will be waiting here. So that when you come, we can go back. अंधेरा है, बारिश हो रही है. तुम जाओ अंदर, अपना काम जो भी है कर लो. मैं यहीं इंतजार करता हूं. मैं आपको साथ में लेके जाऊंगा. फिर सुबह उठ के तुमको बहुत काम भी होगा. Kabir waits outside. The lady goes, knocks on the door. When she knocks on the door, the shopkeeper opens the door and he was shocked. Why he was shocked? He was shocked first that he thought like she will not come. Just in order to take the food grain, she has just told, okay, fine, and she will not come. And more than that, it is raining so heavily. So she will tell me a story that it was raining heavily, so I could not come. But she is there. He was in shock. But more shocked than that was he when he saw that he was not even a single drop of water on her body. Now he asked, like, how did you come? It is raining so heavily, but you have not gotten wet. Then she says, how can I get wet? Because Kabirji came along with me. He was holding the umbrella. Kabirji मुझे छोड़ने आए थे umbrella लेके. Now just think of what will happen to this person. इसका तो धड़कन रुक गई होगी. Like he might have skipped a few breaths. Kabirji came along. Gaye kya? Has he gone? Has he left? She says, no. Now then, no, he's waiting because it is raining again. How can I go alone? So he's waiting. He said, complete whatever you have to do, complete that, keep your word, come back and we'll go together. The shopkeeper was like a thunderbolt went through his body. He asked, where is Kabir? And you see, he's sitting there near the veranda in the rain. And then something changed within this fellow. He just ran and fell down at the feet of Kabir. And you know what Kabir said? Arey, why are you falling down on my feet now? Complete your work, whatever work you have. Tomorrow morning there is a satsang. Come there, sit in the satsang. At that time you feel like good about something, you want to touch my feet, no problem. But now go do your work. What do you think? Will the person ever rise from his feet? कभी वो इंसान उसके पैर से उठ पाएगा? वो इंसान उसके पैर से नहीं उठा, लेकिन अपने अंदर उठ गया. He was never able to get out of the feet of Kabir, but within him he rose to greater heights. नरसिंह राव जी, आप मुझे पूछे कि how can you see the state of mind of a person? What kind of evolution they have gone through? किस तरीके का सोच होगा उन लोगों में, किस तरीके की धारणा होगी उनकी, किस तरीके का जीवन बिताते होंगे वो. हमें कोई कुछ एक चीज बोल देता है और हम पागल हो जाते हैं. We just go mad. We just think of what. Because they have understood the real meaning. That whatever is happening, it's all illusion that you see. They have transcended much far beyond the level of the physicality. But many people will interpret it as that lady has a bad character, or Kabir ji was a spineless fellow. You know who will tell that? All those characterless and all those spineless. Because they will never understand the depth of the level of thought process that these people have. वो उस हद तक सोच भी नहीं सकते, इसीलिए उनको लगता है कि वो गिरे हुए हैं. इनको पता नहीं चलता खुद गिरे हुए हैं. Can we reach that kind of mindset? No, it doesn't mean that I'm saying that what they did, you should do that. I say, can you live with that mindset within you that nothing deviates you? Nothing wavers you from your life. If you have settled down in your meditation, अभी जो आपने कहा ना नरसिंह जी, कि एकदम without any effort you went into that silence. You have to stay in that silence in such a way that nothing bothers you anymore. And if you can reach to that space where nothing bothers you, nothing can move you out from that space also. Can you reach that space? Obviously, it is not easy, but you can start with steps. Those might be the extreme cases that those fellow encountered. But for us, if somebody says one word to us, we are shaking up. That means we have not stabilized ourselves. हमने अपनी जड़ों को उतनी मजबूत ही नहीं बनाया कि कोई भी हवा का झोंका आता है और हमको उखाड़ के फेंक देता है. A small breeze of wind comes and we are torn apart. That means we have not grounded ourselves well enough. But there are few people, those who I know, I know them personally, who have grounded themselves. Those who have grounded themselves in such a tough place, even when I have taken a test, they have come out with flying colors. And when I take a test and they have come out of a flying colors, you know what is the state right now? अब स्थिति कैसी है? अब स्थिति राम और हनुमान जैसी है, बिल्कुल राम और हनुमान जैसी है. Now when I have taken a test and they have come out of that with flying colors, now I cannot give them anything. I am indebted to them. Because they have created that greatness in front of my eyes, that they have understood this is not what I am, this is not what they are. They have transcended to another level altogether. And to all souls such great, I fold my hands. Because how can you have such a faith, such a belief, that if he says to jump into something, you jump? That means it is not the greatness of the person who asked you to jump. It is your greatness that you have stabilized yourself in such a space that you know, even if I jump, if the body dies also, I am not the body. So whose greatness is here? विजय जी, किसका बड़प्पन है? जो कहता है कि कूद जा, या जो कूद जाता है? उस तरीके की स्थिरता चाहिए हमें. If we can और मंत्र तो है ना नरसिंह जी, कोई भी आके कुछ भी बोले, एक ही मंत्र है. There is only one महामंत्र for life. Is that so? आप बहुत अच्छे हो, हाँ? Is that so? And now the best part is, Haribhai, when I am asking question to people, they are saying the same thing to me. I say, you are amazing. They are saying, is that so? मैंने बोला सही पकड़ा है. Have caught hold of it the right way. Literally, Shiva Guruji, since that day, whenever I am saying amazing, great, beautiful, they all are writing the same thing. Is that so? I say, मैं भी फंस गया इसमें, इसका मतलब बोल के. इसीलिए राजन जी, गुरु मंत्र नहीं देते लोग. मंत्र दे दिए तो खुद फंस गए. अब आप गालियां भी नहीं दे सकते लोगों को. अगर आप किसी एक को भी यहां पे बैठ के मैं बोलूं तुम गधे हो, पहले तो बुरा लगता था, आजकल कहते हैं, इज दैट सो? I say, very good. You know why? Not only charity begins at home, moksha should also begin at home. Realization should also begin at home. And that home should be within you. वेडनेसडे के सेशंस बंद हो गए. और नहीं होंगे. What should be your reply? Is that so? Then प्रीति जी बोलते फिर हमारा क्या होगा? फिर मैं बोलूंगा, is that so? Bhavani ji will say, Nana, no, please start it back again. What will happen to us? I said, is that so? अरे हम तो डूब गए, हम अनाथ हो गए. कुछ लोग ऐसे भी रो रहे हैं. Is that so? My dear friends, you didn't understood what I said last time. If you are worried when I stopped the Wednesday session, if you are worried, you never understood then. Last week itself, I told you that whatever happens in life, don't forget the Mahamantra of, is that so? और क्या मैंने एक बार डिक्लेयर किया कि मैं वेडनेसडे के सेशन बंद कर रहा हूं, हिल गए सब. एक बार नहीं बोल सके. Is that so? And I was waiting for that message in the group. None of you dare to even write that. That means you are still in fear. Do you really think I can stay away from you people? Then why didn't you dare to write that? I have to say you failed miserably. Including Haribhai. Haribhai was calling me 3 times, 4 times, 5 times that day. भाई लिंक भेजू क्या? भाई कर लू क्या? भाई कर लो ना, इसमें क्या है? 1 घंटे के लिए बात कर लो. नहीं, एक क्वेश्चन ले लो. Then some people, महानुभाव. No, you just sit there, we will just see you. मैं बोला फोटो लगा के बैठ जाओ. No, you don't do anything. You just sit there and we'll just look at you and that is enough for us. मैं बोला पागल हो गए. क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन में मुझे देख के क्या मिलेगा तुमको? I took a test and you failed miserably. You failed or not? Is that so? So you should be daring enough. You should not be working out of fear. You should dare to speak to me. अच्छा, तो आपने Wednesday बंद कर दिया. Is that so? Then I'll not begin it anymore. Is that so? My dear friends, the teaching was lost last week. How could I teach you without pinching? So, how many of you want us to start back the Q&A session this Wednesday? Is that so? If I don't start, how many of you are going to miss it? अब इसे धर्म संकट कहते हैं. अब हाथ उठाए तो फंसे, नहीं उठाए तो फंसे. If you say you will miss it, I say तो फिर आप समझे नहीं मैंने जो बताया. And if you say don't miss it, हाँ, you're not going to miss my sessions. Okay, then we'll not start. जीवन में ऐसे धर्म संकट आएंगे. But at the same time, remember to live your life. Just like, I don't know what other people did. Some people, you know what did they do? They are so addicted. Right? Umaji, I can use that word addicted. They were so addicted that they know what is the time frame of the Q&A session. They searched over Google of some past Q&A session, started listening to that as if it is happening now. ऐसे लोगों से भगवान बचाए. Some people started, oh my God. So let me spill the beans. Sumadhi, can I take your name? You know what they did? In the morning, the session was done. जो last week का जो session था, जो हुआ था. She started writing it word by word. Entirely the session was written in Telugu, like around 16 pages, right? 15 or 16 pages, Sumaji? Okay. And then when the session was about to begin, there was no link. They started their own satsang. How many people, Sumaji, there? Almost 10 people, 9 people? Okay, so around 9 people were there. And they started discussing about that, what I told in the morning. And it went until 11 o'clock. So they were happy that the satsang time is completed. That shows one thing. That gives me confidence, you know what? That you are not dependent on me just like this. You should not be. See, we have given you enough. ideas, enough thought processes. Because every time we sit, I am not giving you a plant, I am pouring a seed into you. And that seed will sprout within you and it will act at the time when it is most required. जब आपको सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है उस चीज की, वो चीज अपने आप आपके सामने आएगी. डोंट वरी ऑन दैट. क्यों सुधा जी, अभी भी डर है? जाके क्या बोलोगे? जिसे बोलना है वो बोल देगा आपके जरिए. सो डोंट go with fear, go with faith. And you see, you will create magic there. And literally, I was trying, Sudhaji, to record it for at least 4 times and it didn't got recorded. So I understood that there is something else in play. But he will manage it anyways. Okay. So Wednesday session, Subarna Rekha ji, shall we close it down? Santan Krishnan ji. कमलेंद्र जी जैसे बैठे और उनका बैकग्राउंड के साथ वो ऐसा लग रहा है कि उस पूरा पृथ्वी के ऊपर अपना हाथ लेके बैठे हुए. चलो. So don't worry, this Wednesday you are having a Q&A session. Very happy, huh? Is that so? And not only that, we are compensating your last Wednesday's sorrows by doing a Buddha Purnima session tomorrow. Shanti. सब मतलब विद्या जी ऐसे लगता है कि like the moment Hari Bhai said no sessions, only Sunday satsangs, सब मतलब वेताल की तरह हो गए, लटकने लगे एक दूसरे के ऊपर. And I don't know how many calls to Hari Bhai, how many messages to Hari Bhai. Then Hari Bhai asked me, have they not called you? I said they don't dare to call me. What if I say something? But at the same time, one request from my side. That if we are having a Q&A session, let us value each other. आपका कोई काम धंधा नहीं है इसलिए आप नहीं बैठे हो, ना मेरा कोई काम धंधा नहीं है इसलिए मैं बैठा हूं. We are coming together, sitting together here to evolve. So let us take that opportunity to revolve every time. So that evolution should be a continuous process. जैसे नरसिंह जी ने पूछा कि how to stay in that space. See, until and unless you reach to that orbit, you keep on hitting towards that orbit. Gurutwakashan ki shakti, the pulling power of earth, gravitational pull. You keep on hitting yourself to that orbit where the gravitational pull is there no more. And once you transcend that orbit of gravitational force, it cannot pull you down. The same thing, the gravitational pull of the world, the gravitational pull of the relationship, the gravitational pull of this Maya. The day you start hitting it again and again and again, that's what we are doing, right? Every time we are coming here, I'm trying to hold you in my hand and throw you up as far as we can. And some of you have already transcended that path. So now it doesn't bother you anymore. वही जीवन मुक्ति है ना, हो लेकिन खींचे हुए नहीं हो, not tied to even the gravitational pull. They're free, floating. So up until we reach that space, let us continue. Shall we? So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your readiness. It was in your presence that I could share all this. But surely I will do the entire, I'm literally getting motivated actually to do the entire session on Hanuman Chalisa. Every single thing that he has done is so magical. So someday we'll do that. And Hari Bhai, 21st, that shall we go ahead with that? So 21st, of this month, we will begin our 9-day meditation sessions. So all those waiting souls in the waiting line, we are opening the doors. So thank you everyone for being here. Special thanks to all those who have gone through the test and came out with flying colors, and consolation prizes to all those who failed, because until you fail, you don't grow, and if you don't grow, you will not learn, and if you will not learn, you will not know, and if you don't know, then you will not be happy, and if you are not happy, then what is there left? So even your failure is your step towards your happiness, not a step towards your sorrow. So thank you for being here. See you again tomorrow evening. I'll share you the timings. I'll just check. So we'll just meet up for a special meditation on Buddha Purnima. We'll talk a little bit of Buddha, because we have been keeping on talking about Buddha again and again and again and again and again. It's like never ending story for him. But still a good day to celebrate, a good day to be with the upcoming Buddhas. Right? So thank you so much. Have a wonderful time till that. And what may come, whether I speak to you or not, whether I am there or not, never deviate from your path that you have started walking. And remember our words: Asango, Nirvikalpo, Nirakara. Stay God, be God.